Viking Portable Library World Bible, edited by Robert O. Ballou. We are continuing today with the Confucianists, Confucian scriptures, from the Shih King. Is it like 305 different poems? So it's a classical poetry collection. So, directing towards the right, instructing the student in righteousness. The song of how Shih. The song of how Shih. I'm not sure at all with some of these pronunciations. The firstborn of our people was from Kiang Yuan. How did she give birth to our people? She had presented a pure offering and sacrifice, that her childlessness might be taken away. She then trod on a toe print made by God and was moved. In the large place where she rested, she became pregnant, and she dwelt retired. She gave birth to and nourished a son who was Hao Xia. Yeah, I understand how that virgin birth thing is claimed again and again and again. When she had fulfilled her months, her firstborn son came forth like a lamb. There was no bursting, nor rending, no injury, no hurt, showing how wonderful he would be. Did not God give her the comfort? Had he not accepted her pure offering and sacrifice, so that thus easily she brought forth her son? He was placed in a narrow lane, but the sheep and oxen protected him with loving care. He was placed in a wide forest, where he was met with by the woodcutters. So Jesus learned carpentry. It's, same set of motifs, close enough. He was placed on the cold ice, and a bird screened and supported him with its wings. Charged with the large state, he commanded success. He followed his rules of conduct without error. Wherever he inspected the people, they responded to his instructions. Then came Xiang Fu, all ardent, and all within the four seas, beyond the middle regions. Acknowledged his restraints. Plea to an ancestor. Alas for me, who am a little child, on whom has devolved the unsettled state. Solitary am I, and full of distress. O my great father, all thy life long, thou wast filial. Thou didst think of my great grandfather, sing him, as it were, ascending and descending in the court. I, the little child, day and night, will be as reverent. O ye great kings, as your successor, I will strive not to forget you. Now, the importance, rather than the remembrance of characters, it's the remembrance of teachings, examples. Just because someone's your ancestor doesn't mean you need to pass on their legacy, if their legacy was not such of right teaching and right practice. How vast is God! How vast is God, the ruler of men below! How arrayed in terrors is God, with many things irregular in his ordinations. Heaven gave birth to the multitudes of the people, but the nature it confers is not to be depended on. All are good at first, but few prove themselves to be so at the last. And you see this in the Quran of people being in the best of molds, and then debased to the lowest of the low, except for those who believe and do good deeds. In praise of ancestors, small is the cooing dove, but it flies aloft up to the but it flies aloft up to heaven. My heart is wounded with sorrow, and I think of our forefathers, when the dawn is breaking and I cannot sleep. The thoughts in my breast are of our parents. And it's not healthy to sleep through either side of the twilight, but particularly the dawn to sunrise. You will live shorter. You will experience more depression and less energy, more arthritis and stuff like this if you do not get out of bed between dawn and sunrise. If you do this on a regular basis, maybe the first time you do it, you don't get enough sleep because I've never done this before. But once you get, but it will pay off in the short, in no time, really. The thought in my breast are our parents, men who were grave and wise, though they drink, are mild and masters themselves. But those who are benighted and ignorant are devoted to drink, and more so daily. Be careful, each of you, of your deportment. What heaven confers, when once lost, is not regained. We must be mild and humble. As if we were perched on trees, we must be anxious and careful, as if we were on the brink of a valley. We must be apprehensive and cautious, as it were treading upon thin ice. So don't miss. Once your opportunity is gone, don't expect it to come back. On letting alone. Do not push forward a wagon. You will only raise the dust about yourself. Do not think ill. Do not think of all your anxieties. You will only make yourself ill. Admonition. Do not try to cultivate fields too large. The weeds will only grow luxuriantly. Do not think of winning people far away. Your toiling heart will be grieved. Now, if you really care for a field, well, that is when you really get some serious weeds, but that doesn't mean you don't deal with the weeds. But there's a great truth about exorcism that many people miss, is that you're not trying to destroy parts of yourself, or at least you shouldn't. It's that you're casting out the falsehood, the evil from those parts of yourself. You're trying to turn yourself towards the light. And to those who do it in a Carcist sort of way, they're trying to say, so they're trying to command demons and whatnot. Demon devotees are trying to, again, earn favor and say, well, maybe if I worship a bigger demon, another demon will come in, or however they're going to term that sort of thing. That is what's going on. But, you very strongly cultivate yourself, and the better you cultivate yourself, the more challenges there may be, but things can be easier or seem easier even though your load is bigger?